We're going to turn now for some answers to the president's top advisor on the environment in the White House, Carol Browner. Good morning, Ms. Browner. Thanks a lot for taking some time this morning. Let's just pick up where Jeffrey Kaufman led off. Do you think the top kill is going to work?
We're doing everything in our power to try and make it work. We have deployed Stephen Chu, the Secretary of Energy, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist. We're doing everything we can to make this work.
BP put this chances at 60 to 7%. Is that what you think?
I'm not going to put odds on this. I'll just tell you that we are deploying all of the resources available to us to make this work.
The big question is, if it doesn't work, what is next? And Andrew Revkin in the New York Times says that if it doesn't work, the president must completely take this over. He says Obama must step forward far more forcefully and publicly engage an oil well SWAT team, drawing on the country's leading lights in hydraulics, deep ocean engineering, and geology from the Pentagon outward. Is that what the president will do?
We are drawing on all the experts, bringing them to bear. We're going to stay on this with the best minds until this is resolved.
So there's no question right now in your mind that the president, the White House administration can order BP and anyone else on the scene to do whatever they need to do to fix this?
No question, and we are ordering BP to do things. We are giving them instructions. Admiral Allen contacts Tony Hayward directly if there's a problem, and we move forward.
Yet there still are these questions, for example, of the dispersant. We saw in Sam Champion's piece, he was down there swimming in the areas where the dispersant has been used. You see those globules of oil covered with the detergent. Last week, the EPA ordered BP to stop using this dispersant, corrects it. BP refused. Yesterday, the EPA administrator said that the dispersant may not be as toxic as feared. So can you clear up some of the confusion here? How toxic is this dispersant, and should BP stop using it?
Well, first of all, we think dispersants are an important part of how we move forward and how we protect our coastal communities. EPA has looked at and will continue to look at all of the dispersants. As it turns out, there are not as many being manufactured as people thought in the quantities that are needed. What EPA did yesterday was direct BP to use less of this dispersant while they continue to study what other alternatives may be available.
So what is your best evaluation of how toxic Corexit is right now?
Well, I think that we need to leave that to the scientists who are looking at, who are studying how it's interacting with this particular environment. But we need to find out if there are other alternatives that can give us the same sort of benefits and do it in a way that is protective of the environment.
Are you confident BP is going to comply? They didn't last week.
They'll absolutely comply. They're complying with yesterday's order, which is they're going to be using less. We have the mechanisms to ensure that they comply, and we will use those mechanisms.
Finally, Governor Bobby Jindal of Louisiana is saying that he is simply not getting the help and the resources he needs from the federal government. It's clear that he's angry. He says he's willing to go to jail and start to build these berms on his own to protect the coastline if the government doesn't step in and help him. Is he right to be angry, and will he get the help he needs?
Governor Jindal wants to build a set of berms or barrier islands, if you will. We are looking at that proposal very carefully, but I think it's important for people to note, even by the governor's own estimation, some of those things would not be in place for 6 to 9 months. We need to make sure that what we're doing is going to work today. That is what we are committed to for those communities, and we will continue to work with the governors to ensure that happens.
Finally, any doubt in your mind this is going to be the worst oil spill in American history?
I don't think there's any doubt, unfortunately.
Okay. Ms. Browner, thanks very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.